Welcome to the Stand Like Men podcast. I am Logan Ingram.
And I'm Daniel Schallenberg.
And we are here to try and figure out what it means to live out biblical masculinity. We talk about family, we talk about faith, we talk about worldly stuff. And today we're going to be talking about legacy. If you guys like what we've been doing, or you have questions or comments or anything, even if you just have an encouragement, I don't know.
Snide remarks too.
Snide remarks,
Yeah.
Sure, we'll take them also. It's, any attention is good attention, right?
Yeah.
Right, even negative. And so...
Listen, the people who need the most love ask for it in the most unloving ways.
Yes, there you go.
They just need some sort of attention just to feel loved.
But you can send those to us either via social or on YouTube comments, or even email us at standlikemen@gmail.com.
Yeah. Right. Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's all right. It's part of the intro.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So you wanted, we're texting back and forth and said, what do you want to talk about this week? And you said legacy.
Yeah.
What made you want to talk about legacy?
Legacy's been really big on my heart lately for the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. And some of it's because I've watched, we're getting older. I'm 40, sure. You're 40? 39.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking about it, like my mom passed 3 years ago, whatever it was now. And just thinking about what's left behind, when we leave. And It's not even necessarily if we die. Like, what if I had to move overseas for something?
Yeah.
What kind of legacy have I left behind here? And so you've been to my dad's seminar, and I think a great leading question for this kind of is one of the stories my dad brings up, and I should have prepared way better and actually had the guy's name. But it's something like, I think during the Roman occupation, there was like a philosopher or businessman walking at night, and he ended up being out past curfew, and he came to a certain area where I guess he wasn't supposed to go, and there was a Roman soldier up on the wall, and he said, "Stop, who are you, and what are you doing here?" And the guy looked up at him and said, "Well, how much do they pay you to ask these questions?" And he said, I don't know what it was, like 2 or 3 drachma a day. Mm-hmm. And the guy said, "I will pay you double to follow me around and ask me that every day."
Yeah.
So that question, you can take it just for the very quick face value. Like if I walked into this office and someone goes, "Who are you and what are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Say, "Oh, I'm Logan, I work here."
Yeah.
Well, you can take it way deeper than that. And that's where I kind of want to go with that question. I've got an idea of doing kind of a street interview process like some of these other influencers do, but I want it to really focus on purpose and legacy instead of like, how did you become a millionaire, or how did you get fit, and some of the generic stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to go deeper than that. And that will be my leading question is, who are you and what are you doing here?
Interesting.
Yeah. I'd like for you to answer.
Oh, shoot.
In a deep manner, not that you're Daniel and you're here recording a podcast. Like, I already know that.
Yeah.
And I think everybody listening already knows that.
So that's an interesting question of who are you? And usually when someone asks that question, I'm just going to start to dissect the question real quick. Yeah,
that's fine.
When you ask the question, who are you? The first response is, well, I'm Daniel Schallenberg. This is my name. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, well, as soon as you go deeper, well, who are you? And we immediately have to start describing ourselves, right? Like we have to, like, and not like...
Well, that's generally what people do.
Yeah.
Is just descriptive terms, and
it
still ends up not being who
we have to start
you are.
Using adjectives to describe it, or like our relationship with somebody else.
Yes.
And it used to be strictly like, who are you? Well, I'm Daniel, son of Mike Schallenberg and Karen Schallenberg, and his father was Ralph Schallenberg, and I forget Grandma's name. Actually, I don't know Grandma's name. Her name was always just Grandma.
Oh, that's interesting.
I might get a call later after Dad listens to this episode in a couple months. He might call and say, "Hey, by the way, her name was."
Yeah.
But like you'd go back to, I am Daniel Schallenberg. I'm from Searcy. My father was this man, and he was from this town. And it was like, who do you know, and how are you connected with the other people? In recent years, it's turned into like my name, maybe where I'm from, but then the things that I've done.
Oh
Like,
yeah, your accomplishments and
Yeah.
accolades or whatever.
I called a guy on the phone today. I said, "Hey, I'm Daniel. I work at Harding. I do this, and I'm here." Like it's
You're establishing credibility.
I'm establishing credibility,
Yeah.
and it's not, and we no longer find credibility with the people that we're connected to, but with the things that we've done.
Yeah.
So the answer to your question, I don't know. I know my name. I know where I'm from. I know who my parents are, and I know what I'm about. At least I hope I do. But I feel inadequate to answer that question. And at that point, that kind of scares me, because if I'm inadequate to answer that question, who could actually answer that question?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a little daunting may not be the right word. It's weighty. Maybe I'm going too deep. Might be going too deep.
You're fine.
So some things that,
And I guess we
am
could
I going
tie
the right direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the sense of legacy, like, and I think a lot about my mom, you could even ask it, who were you?
Yeah.
And what did you do? Like, what were you doing here?
Yeah.
And so, just like my mom, like, who was she? Well, I have answers. Other people have answer and how much she meant to them or whatever. And the things that you're talking about, there's credibility. I mean, if you called Harding University, she was a board member and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, kind of, if we're looking at legacy, who was this person and
Yeah.
what did they do here?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was just listening to a John C. Maxwell book, and right at the end, when he's talking about his legacy, like he's older now and is talking more and more about what kind of legacy that he's going to leave. A lot of people think about, well, I want to have a ton of wealth and stocks and stuff like that to leave my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And, or like in land, of course, a big one is leaving land or houses or property, real estate of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
That's your legacy. Some people look at it like a name on a building. Maybe like at the university, most of the buildings or all of them are named after somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of their legacy. Well, what John Maxwell said, and I really like this a lot because it's trying to take away from the material and the worldly piece.
Yeah.
And legacy is not something we leave people. It is something we leave in people.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Because really, if you look at Jesus, what's his legacy? He didn't leave us with any material, anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he left with nothing.
Yeah.
He left us nothing material,
Yeah.
but it's what he left in us
Mm-hmm.
that changed the whole world.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I really like that quote a lot. And I want to make sure that I start living my life like that
Mm-hmm.
more. And really, and it's funny how the more I've started thinking about that, the more opportunities seem to show themselves to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I was on a team call this morning with a group of guys I had not met yet.
Mm-hmm.
And two of them asked me to get on a phone call with them this weekend. Just
Okay.
to visit about life and how we do stuff.
Cool.
And I'm like, oh, no, that's great. And of course, imposter syndrome is all over me.
Oh, of course.
All over me for it.
Yeah.
And so, but I've been thinking about that. Like, okay, well, what? I can't really give these guys anything, and they're not looking for anything material anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's what can I leave in them through a conversation
Yeah.
or a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
It's I was told this not that long ago, and I've heard it a lot, is like your first impression. And even like when we've talked about it with our kids and stuff too, you've brought it up, is it's not what you said, it's how you made people feel.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's part of our legacy.
Yeah.
Because it really isn't, and because people don't necessarily remember every time what you said.
Yeah.
It's how it made you feel. A perfect example was I was trying to requote this today, and I started writing it down and realized that up in my notes it was already written down verbatim as I heard it on the audiobook, and I had misquoted it like badly, verbally.
Yeah.
And the message was still the same, but it's kind of a perfect example. It's like I don't remember exactly the words he said, but I remember how that quote made me feel.
Yeah.
and it changed something in me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, can you talk to legacy in that regard? Stuff that you want to leave behind, or what, and tie it biblically, of course.
Yeah. So another question, another way to ask the question, and we've asked this before, is like, what do you want people to say about you when you're gone?
Mm-hmm.
And some people may phrase it as like, what do you want on your tombstone?
Mm-hmm.
And
or what's the dash?
Yeah,
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, what's the dash?
What does the dash mean?
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm talking about the dash between the dates of your birth and
yeah, what did you do?
death. Yeah,
what did
was
you do
your life
is
reduced to a dash on a tombstone.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of times, is it the epitaph? Something?
I don't know. It's big words.
It's a big word. Well, I think it's small in letter count, but
it's an intellectual word.
Yeah. We've got people listening saying, you morons.
I know. I know what you're talking about.
And they're not wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's what do I want people to say about me? Like, what do I want my legacy to be? And I think it's that they understood the value, or that they saw a glimpse of the value that I saw in them.
I like that.
And I'm not necessarily good at seeing value in people, but I feel like I am good at recognizing that everybody is a child of God, and as such is an image bearer of God. And because of that, they have infinite value.
Yeah.
And I try to treat them in such a way that they feel that value. I try to treat them so that they can see that value. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, someone will comment about that, and that, like, they'll call me up, or like we'll be chatting, and they're like, you know, and basically, like, to paraphrase, basically, like, they felt valued when they were around me, and they felt like they were worth something. I'm like,
yeah,
that's awesome. And of course, my imposter syndrome lies to me at that moment and says it wasn't enough, or it could have been more, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think I want, at the moment, I want my legacy to be that people see the glimpse of the value that they have.
I like that.
What about you?
And I think it's so valuable too, because we've talked about it many, many times. You know, the silence that church has created, and just society in general. None of us feel like we matter, right? And what we do doesn't matter. We've talked about that quite a few times. And so if we can go throughout our life, and at the end of it, there's people who realize their value because of who we were to them, how we lived or treated them, then amazing.
Did you ever see Mr. Holland's Opus?
It's been so long, but I loved that movie.
It was a 90s movie, I want to say. Mm-hmm. It was a 90s movie with Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, his son was deaf, and
it was
an orchestra, right?
Yeah, he wanted to like conduct or compose like orchestral music.
That's right. It's been so long
and conduct
since
and all
I saw that.
And he, got married, and he's just like, I need a job, and so he became a high school band teacher. And like throughout the whole movie, he's like, I absolutely hate this. And I guess if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, maybe go watch it.
You've had plenty of time.
You have had plenty of time. I don't know if we can recommend it, because I haven't seen it in decades probably. But the story goes basically like he absolutely hates his job, and eventually like there's a shift where he's just like, this is just where I'm going to be at. And so he just does his thing, and then at the very end, this is the big spoiler alert. At his retirement party, they walk him down into the auditorium, and there on stage is an orchestra of his like past students, pupils, yes, and they play the piece, his opus that he composed throughout the whole movie. Like, he's just writing it here and there, and they play it, and it's a very touching thing, and he gets to see his thing performed, and then everybody in the audience is like there for him. And he realizes at the end of the movie, he's like, oh, it was never about the music. It was never about this. It was always about the people.
Mm-hmm.
And that he wasn't even trying to make an impact in people's lives, but he ended up doing that.
Yeah.
And you can see the friendship and the camaraderie and the value that people felt when they were around him.
Isn't it interesting that a lot of the moments that I look at in my life that were the most impactful, other people don't remember?
Yeah.
Like I've talked about the elder who asked me, why don't you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bet he never thought of that ever again.
Maybe not.
I mean, I really don't think so, because I wouldn't. Like, if I was...
Yeah.
Because it wasn't monumental to him.
Mm-hmm.
He just asked me a question.
Yeah.
And I've had plenty of things exactly like that happen. It's just a word here and there that someone thought they should say.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't monumental to them, but in that moment, it was everything to you. And it's really fascinating. And it goes back to planting seeds like we've talked about many, many times. And I think the planting of the seeds and legacy thing goes hand in hand, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it is. And what we're talking about right now is what do you leave inside people when you're gone?
And you're going to leave something.
Yeah.
Like, to your point, like the people who say things that, like, you're like with the Mr. Holland's Opus analogy, he wasn't intending to do anything. Like, he was just there doing his thing, and it was just by accident 30, 40 years later, like, all these people were impacted by him and felt a deep love and appreciation and respect for him. And he realized in that moment, he's like, oh, I did make a difference. It was I was impactful, but it's like, okay, you weren't even trying.
Yeah.
And there was no intentionality in his life. And so your point is like, we don't always recognize the things that we do or say are impactful for people. What if we actually tried?
Right.
What if we were intentional about the things that we were doing?
Yeah, intentional about the eternal.
There's that word again. Yeah, if we're intentional about the eternal, like what could happen if we're actually intentional about leaving a legacy and about doing the things that we want to do?
Right.
What could happen?
Yeah. Yeah, I plan to call these little interviews that I'm going to do Uncommon Pursuit.
Okay.
Of legacy and of life and of legacy. Because I think that it is pretty uncommon for people to be so intentional about that. Lots of people are intentional about wealth creation and inheritance and stuff like that, stuff that they leave behind.
Yeah.
But not necessarily what they leave behind inside of other people. And so, to me, it's an uncommon pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe but
it seems like it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems very common to pursue money, land, status, power, whatever. Seems uncommon to pursue people.
Pursue the hearts of men.
And pursue the hearts of men and pursue their well-being and their beneficiary. What's the word? It's not beneficiary. Again, the smart listeners are going, you guys are morons. And again, I say, they're not wrong.
No. Say it in context again.
I forgot what I was even saying.
Oh, okay.
It's been a long month.
Yeah.
It's been a long summer.
Yeah. It has. I'm so glad school started again today. We'll get back to a routine.
Yeah. Normally things have slowed down. Like a week or two ago, they would have slowed down, but it seemed
and normally we
up.
do that. Monday, the week of school, or at least 7 days before school starts, we're like, okay, bedtime is set school time. And even last night, it was 11 o'clock. I'm like, why are we still awake?
Oh, I live in a dorm. I rarely get to bed
before midnight. I cannot even imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'm
glad you do that.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful legacy for you.
It's It is time I spend with my wife, and I'm very happy to do that. And because I know that she feels, I know that if I were to go to bed at like 10 o'clock like I want to do every night, then she would eventually start to feel abandoned, and I don't want that. What is rough is when Emmett has started to stay up until 11 to 11:30, midnight 30, and then I don't have time to decompress and then process.
That's what it is for me, because I like to read before I go to, I like to do my night routine, shower, read, all the stuff in bed.
You shower every night?
Huh?
Oh man, I shower once a week whether I need it or not.
Well, that's good.
I'm sorry.
That's good.
I interrupted your routine because I find that joke very funny.
It is funny. It is funny. I'm trying to remember what movie it was. With the kids like, but I took a bath last week. He's fighting his mom.
My sister. I don't know.
I can't
It sounds
remember what
familiar.
Yeah. I can't for the life of me remember.
If you know what movie that is, dear
Finn?
listener. Oh, maybe.
His little brother. Tom
Uh-huh.
Sawyer's little brother.
I don't know. Dear listener, if you know what movie we're talking about, please let us know at standlikeman@gmail.com.
Yeah, he's fighting his mom because she wants him to take a bath. And he says, but I just had one last week.
Do you remember, like, the setting, like, the house, what it looked like?
Oh, I know. It's Old Yeller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was a movie that I repressed because it was so
It's
tragic.
so traumatic.
It's incredibly traumatic.
I'm almost certain that's, like, I just all of a sudden got the flash of the video, and then I saw the not quite black and white, more like a sepia.
Yeah.
But it was still in color, though.
It
had that filter.
When did that come out? Was it early 80s?
Old Yeller?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Because I remember it being around before, like, it wasn't a new release when I was...
Early 80s, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be Gen X or Millennial?
It's either that movie or it was, and I think it's played by the same kid. Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh, okay. Oh, it might be Swiss Family.
I think
Robinson.
that's it.
That might be it.
I think it is. Because I'm almost certain it's the same kid.
Could be.
I'm certain that's the same kid.
We'll look it up later, and then
Because he was the one hollering about the new puppy after Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler, guys.
Listen.
Was killed.
Old Yeller is the Xennial, I think is what they call it. Is the Xennial version of Marley and Me.
Oh, okay.
And it's just sadness.
Yeah.
You want joy, and then and then it's sadness.
Yeah.
And there is no joy, and it's awful.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to dog movies. I don't watch them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's actually the two brothers in Swiss Family Robinson also.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the same kids. That's what it is.
I never watched enough of those to know.
Oh, dude, I watched the mess out of all of
Really?
those movies. That was one of the only movies my grandmother had growing up was Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh, there you go.
So every single time we went there, we watched it.
I watched The Great Mouse Detective at Grandma's house.
Yes, Basil of Bakersfield.
Great movie.
Yeah,
Solid.
I love that.
Anyway.
I love that movie
It's a great
much.
movie.
I actually
So good.
watched it not that long ago. I think
Because it's a good movie.
I turned it on for me and Nate in the Deer Blind last year.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he loved it, right?
Oh, of course.
Of course, because it's a good movie.
Who doesn't?
What were we talking about?
I just can't remember.
Thanks for joining
Yeah,
Movie Time.
Legacy.
Have you seen that episode of The Office where Michael Scott was sitting there and he's like, I need to like leave my legacy for my children.
Yeah.
And so however many kids he plans on having, he started making videos of like, this is all of the important things that you need to know in order to be a man. And in order to, like, if I die, then you need to know all. Oh, because he was waiting on test results that
That's right.
nothing was going to happen, and nothing, even if it was a negative test result, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And so the whole episode is him just going through talking about all of the important things that you need to know in order to be a man. And they're all like stupid and very shallow.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that every once in a while doing the podcast, it feels like we're doing that. Not like the stupid and shallow, but like actually if it almost feels like, if I were to die, like at least my son has some content of me like telling him things that are important.
I haven't thought about any of that, and that's actually really important.
Do you think it's...
I've thought about that with my hunting videos.
Yeah.
but which is pretty shallow compared to something like this.
Well, I mean, hunting is still.
Well, that's why I
important.
started videoing stuff. Is I'm like, I'm doing all of this stuff by myself, and I want to share this with my family and friends and whatever.
Mhm.
And so I started doing a lot more of it,
Yeah.
and thinking, well, man, this would be cool if my kids are, because I love looking back at old photographs of my dad.
Yeah.
None of my family before my dad hunted at all,
Mhm.
and he was the first when he was the first generation. And so looking at all of his old photos and stuff is so fun to me. So I was like, well, what if I had videos and they could see it go down in real time and watch the emotions happen and all that.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to leave that for them. But I mean, it's a great point that this is part of that,
Yeah.
because that's the whole, I mean, a big part of our mission is planting seeds, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's a cool thought though, that they would have this.
You know, every once in a while, now that I'm pushing 40, definitely in the middle of midlife, I'm sitting there going, anytime like something feels weird, like 2 nights ago I slept weird, and now I'm doing the Michael Keaton Batman whenever I look.
Man, I've been feeling that like crazy.
Backing up, like going in reverse in my car is treacherous right now because I can't,
You can't
I
turn.
can't turn around and look. Thankfully, I've got a small car and I can see out the windows pretty well and get good coverage. But I'm just like, anytime something feels weird or off, I'm like, this is how I go. I'm like, I've left Emmett so unprepared, and I'm like, but I'm starting to take some comfort. I'm like, you know what, we've got, after this episode, 42 episodes posted of hopefully me teaching him things,
Yeah.
and then that he can take on, and he can teach his friends and his kids, and then their kids can learn from Grandpa Fuzzy.
Yeah. Grandpa Fuzzy.
That's
Is that going to
our,
be your name?
yeah, we have our grandparent names picked out already.
Sweet.
Do you have yours?
I did, and then my wife changed mine.
Oh, come
and
on.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to get stuck with it.
She doesn't get to do that.
I think she does.
it is your grandfather name.
I know.
What is yours? What did you pick?
Granddad.
Granddad. Okay.
Yeah,
What did she choose?
Or, oh shoot, I forgot the other one. So Granddad
Granddad.
wasn't that important then,
What your
because that was my granddad was like my hero growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Cindy change it to?
Papa Logie.
Papa Logie?
Yeah, because all of my nephews and nieces
Mm-hmm.
call me Uncle Logie,
Okay.
and she loves it, and they love it, and she thinks it'd be really
It's
cute,
cute.
to be Papa Logie. She wants to be Mama C.
Mama C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mama C and Papa Logie.
Okay.
And
That's
I
funny.
don't. It's really endearing when my nephews and nieces call me that, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I would die if my grandkids called me that too. But at some point, like when they're 20, I don't necessarily want them to call me that.
Papa Logie.
Yeah.
When Emmett was born, he was the first grandkid in Kara's side of the family.
Oh, okay.
And so Kara we were talking to her mom, and she's like, what do you want to be called? And she's like, I am not grandma. Because she was in denial. She's like, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not old enough to be a grandmother. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to be called? And she's finally settled on Gigi. Because it's Gigi's fine. It's great
Yeah.
grandma name. And so we're like, okay, well, what are we going to call David, my father-in-law? And he just hollers from the back. He's like, okay, so what's the male equivalent of Gigi? And he's like, well, it's Pee-Pee. So we almost had Gigi and Pee-Pee, but
Oh, no.
but Gigi would not allow that.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I thought it was great.
I'm glad for all of y'all.
So
but-
he's Pop Pop.
Oh, okay.
Pop Pop.
Yeah.
And so, but I think somehow I became Uncle Fuzzy because I'm just a fuzzy person, I guess. I am kind of pretty fuzzy, and so that's just going to carry on to grandkids probably.
Yeah. Well, what is the legacy that you hope to leave? Like if somebody saw your tombstone and a friend that you knew, one of your friends, was standing around and they said, "Who is that guy?"
Mm-hmm.
What would you hope they'd say?
Probably the bit about the value.
Yeah.
Like he cared about people. He wanted them to feel loved and valued, and even the people that were rejected by society were cared for, and saw value in themselves from him.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, that's really pretty close.
Yeah.
And kind of going back to it's not what you say, it's how you make people feel.
Yeah.
Like I want to be, like I want people to say, I remember how he made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I had somebody tell me that pretty recently. He said, I don't even remember what you said, but it was how you made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten to know that guy since then, and it was just a couple months ago. And that meant a lot to me when he said that. Like, I didn't realize, like, if somebody had just said that, you know, like, well, what if somebody told you that? I'd be like, oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when he actually said it, it sure changed something in me. And so I think that's a big one for me, is that I hope I make people feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I think we're all so used to feeling like the world makes us feel certain ways,
Yeah.
you know, unworthy or like an imposter and all of that stuff. One of my greatest wishes for the last, I don't know, 20 years almost, since I started working. And I remember begging God for this, or just out loud, that I could find somebody who believed in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted them to not be part of my family, because that's kind of a given.
Yeah.
It's kind of low-hanging fruit, and selfishly I wanted that, and I didn't take that for granted, that my family did believe in me. But there's something within me, at least, and I'm sure most everybody else, it's like you want somebody who could walk up, don't know you, and after, I don't know, a day spending with you, that you exude something to them and make them feel a certain way, that they believe whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, like that someone would believe in me enough. And I want to make people feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had so many no's in my life, and it's because they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's no way you could do that.
Yeah.
And so I don't ever want somebody to feel that way. Like, I've had banks tell me that. I've had business partners and whatever, friends. And I don't ever want somebody to feel that way. Like, if they have thoughts or dreams or ideas or hopes, that I'm the guy that's helping them realize they can absolutely do it. And that's important to me.
Yeah. So one thing I was thinking of just now, like when you asked, like, what do I want my legacy? I'm like, okay. And this is probably very pessimistic of me. But like thinking about, like, I know my dad, spent 39 years with him. Never met my grandfather on my dad's side. He died before I was born. My grandma remarried a man named Joe Sutton. From what I could tell, he was a good man, but he died when I was like 3, 4, something like that. And then grandma died a couple years after that. And so, I mean, I remember them, but I have no idea who their parents are.
Mm-hmm.
I know my mom. I know her parents. I knew both of their mothers, but again, like, other than, like, you know, Grandma Reddick or Great Grandma Reddick, Great Grandma Thompson, I don't know much about them. And so I say all that to say, like, at some point, you are not necessarily going to be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are going to be people.
I've heard it's 3 generations.
Yeah, there's going to come a time when when people don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this is a big but, like, you are.
We're a bunch of children.
Yeah. And again, the people listening are going, you morons.
I know it.
Even though, like, in 3-ish generations, like, people aren't going to know who you are just because you die.
Yeah.
The but is that you're still establishing your family.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, your legacy is how your children are going to live and how their children are going to live and how theirs are. And after a while, it will, like, the ripples will start to fade. And that's why it's so important to establish teaching the why. Why do we do the things that we do?
Yeah.
And we see what happened, like we see all through Scripture, what happens when you don't teach the why is the generation falls away from God. And so you're always, like with me, I'm always trying to teach Emmett, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? We need to look past, this is what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, but why am I doing it this way?
Yeah.
And so that, and I'm also trying to teach, like, impress upon him, like, how important it is to teach the why, so that when he gets to his children, he's teaching them why we're doing this. Like, I learned from Grandpa Fuzzy, this is what we do and how we do it, but this is also why we do the things that we do. And he's going to be his own man. He's going to make his own choices, but he's going to be looking out for the why are we doing this? Why is, and not just why are we doing it, but why are people doing the things that they're doing? And so you can look at society. It's like, okay, well, why are people having such an issue with pronouns right now, or in recent history? It's because they don't feel value otherwise.
Yeah.
This is how they can get attention. We joked about bad attention is good attention, right?
Yeah.
Like, they can get attention and they can feel loved by demanding a pronoun. My wife was a school teacher for a while, and working with the youth group, like, we interact with kids that sometimes are just punks. It's like, why are you a punk? It's like, well, hurt people.
Yeah.
And the people who need the most love ask for it in the most unloving ways.
Yes. Because
basically it's just the only way that they can get attention from their parents is by acting out.
Mm-hmm.
And they desperately need that attention from their parents, and they will get it however they need to get it. However they can get it, they will get it. And even if that's like being an absolute terror in the home or at church or in school or at Walmart or whatever, like, they're acting out so that they can feel love. They can get any sort of attention because at least they're getting some attention. And as long as mom and dad are, like, beating me, at least they still are paying attention to me. When they stop yelling at me or beating me or whatever, then I know that I'm in trouble and I'm alone. And so when you reshape it as, like, okay, why is this child potentially, I don't know, like, why is the child throwing a fit in Walmart? Well, potentially because they're hurting.
Yeah.
Potentially because they feel abandoned by their parent. Now, maybe not. Maybe they're just tired. Maybe they just haven't eaten well. Maybe they're just a butt. I don't know. But, like, when you start looking at, I didn't mean to go down that road. When you start looking at, like, why are people struggling with pronouns right now? It's like, okay, well, maybe it's because society has said this is how you can get value.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we're going to...
It's an identity crisis.
Yeah. This is how we're actually going to show you love, is by... If you have a different value, or if you have a different pronoun, or if you accept this as important, then we'll show you love.
Well, and since we're on the topic, I mean, you can see it just on social media.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so say I'm part of a discussion like that on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no one is going to praise me for sticking to just being me, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah.
But if someone chooses a different pronoun, there's going to be people hating on it, but then there's going to be a lot of people showing a lot of support too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas if you don't say anything or do anything different, then you don't really get anything. There's no reward of any kind.
Yeah.
You're just, people don't argue with you because you're
It's
irrelevant
like,
almost.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and again, I don't know if how accurate that is, I feel like I'm pretty close. At least in many cases, I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Oh, there's no doubt that
And
in some cases that's absolutely the truth.
and when you start looking at people who are struggling with pronouns or gender identity or their identity in general, you start to and you see them as, okay, why are they doing that? Well, it's because they're hurting right now.
Yeah.
If you start looking at it like that, it's harder to be, I don't know, it's easier to be more compassionate towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Because suddenly they're not attacking me.
Right.
They're kind of accepting the attack against them.
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm not like, I shouldn't be heaping attacks on them because they're already going through an onslaught of attacks. Like, I should be standing with them, protecting them, saying,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you still have value. Even if I don't agree with the whole pronoun thing, I don't agree with this crisis that we're having, like, you still have value. I hadn't anticipated going down that road. But yeah, it's to circle back, like, it's super important to look at the why. Why am I doing the things I'm doing, but also why are people doing the things that they're doing? And I analyze it and say, okay, well, you random guy at Walmart who's ramming into people with the shopping cart, why are you doing what you're doing? And then how did you get to that point? And like, building a legacy starts now. And because you're going to leave a legacy.
Well, and a lot of us think that it happens when we die.
Yeah.
And of course according to us, we're all gonna be old when we die because nothing's gonna happen to us, right? Yeah. And I think it's 100%. And we talk about being intentional all the time because I believe in it. I believe that it's so important. If you start living today intentionally about the legacy you're gonna leave, you're gonna be leaving it now.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Because just like the person you run into at the store that was having a rough day,
Mm-hmm.
or the little kid that you think is hurting in the store, like throwing a tantrum, like you used the example earlier.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you just tell them, hey, man, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's a piece of your legacy that you left if it impacts him. And sometimes, actually a lot of times, that stuff doesn't even come up until later.
Mm-hmm.
So like the elder asking me, why don't you do it? In that moment, I was incredulous. Like, it didn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's a ludicrous statement. Why don't I do it? I mean, I already told you.
Yeah.
And it took quite a few years and this realization of things missing in my life and leaders missing the ball, and for that conversation to pop in my brain one day, and it's as a voice that goes, why don't you do it? And I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And then I look back in my memory and go, oh, I remember a guy asked me that once.
Mm-hmm.
That's a legacy that we're leaving today, because he's not gone. I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
Mm.
But even if he's not now, he for sure was when that popped back in my mind. But I hadn't spoken to him since that day for a couple of years.
Mm.
So just because we're not gone doesn't mean we're not leaving a legacy right now.
Yeah. And that's important to remember, is that, like, we are going to leave a legacy. Whether it's going to happen. Like, when we die, there's going to be a legacy. Is it going to be worthwhile or not?
Yeah.
And the legacy is more than just it's more than just the money that you have and the how many names you have on your building. It's more than that. It's like, how did you make people feel? What did you leave with people?
Yeah.
And it goes back to intentionality. You have to be intentional about the eternal.
Yeah.
And it
Absolutely.
starts now. If you're listening to this and you are 15 years old, like, what an amazing opportunity you have to leave an incredible legacy.
I wish I could have understood that
Yeah.
so much longer ago. And some of that stuff, I don't think you can help in a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's because you just don't. It's almost like your brain cannot open those receptors until you're a certain age.
Yeah.
It's like I look back and like I legitimately and logically don't understand how I could have understood that at that point in time.
Yeah.
Because I have not seen enough life to have the references to be able to make those connections and all of that stuff. So
I'm hoping for understanding at 40.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah.
You know, and going back to what you were talking about, family. You know, once you're gone, because I've thought about that a ton, especially thinking about legacy. So I've thought about that, like my granddad, professional football player, executive at Exxon, like a powerhouse in business and life and all this stuff. Everybody who knew him loved him. And my kids don't know who he was. But he was a massive piece of my life, but not of theirs.
Yeah.
They know of him, but that's it. But that thing, and like he's got stock and and has had farms and all kinds of stuff. Well, most of it's been sold off. He still has a lot of Exxon. My grandmother still does, but that may amount to nothing, you know. And so, because who knows, it could tank tomorrow. Exxon could go bust. I mean, it can. The likelihood is low, but it can. And then so there's nothing material left.
Yeah.
But it's the stuff that you were talking about. His life is living on, and through my mom, to me, to my kids, to their kids, some little thing. Like one lesson that he taught me that I always remember is play to the whistle blows. Like it's so simple and kind of cliche being a football player.
Yeah.
You play until the whistle blows. And it's amazing how, in, you know, looking in introspection, looking back on my life and realizing how big of an impact just that small statement had on me for my work ethic and not quitting at something, because you don't quit until the whistle blows, till it's over.
Yeah.
And so, and I hope that I instilled that in my kids, and not necessarily, I don't know that I've ever told them that statement, but they maybe see it through my actions and how I guide them and teach them. Yeah. And that's part of his legacy, even though they don't know him. That is my granddad's legacy. So, yeah. It goes back to it's not what you leave to people, it's what you leave in them.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So I guess to wrap up, we go back to the original question. Who are you?
Who are you?
What are you
doing here?
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
I still don't know that answer.
I am Logan Ingram.
But who are you?
Of course. Child of God.
Yeah.
Dad. Hopefully a world impactor.
Yeah.
Or a life impactor, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm doing here. Is I'm here to impact lives.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what Jesus calls us to do. Like, it doesn't have to be by being Elon Musk and Bezos and Trump and whoever else it is, or create some massive invention that impacts the world and history and all that stuff. Impacting lives is literally just being intentional about your life, not allowing life to just sit and happen to you, because then I don't think you are being an impact. If you just allow life to happen and you do nothing, then you're not leaving a legacy, or that's the legacy you're leaving, and how sad is that? And it's being intentional. It's going out. It's some stupid dodgeball analogy came up. Ben Stiller, that's me taking the bull by the horns. It's a figure of speech, but that happened. Taking life by the horns, you know, and actually living and being present and intentional in everything that we do.
Yeah.
I think that's how we leave a legacy, and I think that's what we're here for. That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And at least that's what I'm called to do while I'm here.
Yeah.
I wake up every day hoping that that's what I'm doing, actually. Some days I fail miserably at it, but I'm more intentional every day about it.
Thank you for listening to the Staying Like Men podcast. We really appreciate y'all joining us today as we talk about legacy. If you would leave us a comment and send us an email at stayingLikeMen@gmail.com. We'd love to hear who you are and what are you doing here. What do you want your legacy to be?
Our verse is 1 Corinthians 16, 13, and 14.
Be watchful.
Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong.
Let all that you do be done in love.